is Laurel, the dabbling hook. This is going to be quick. Hopefully it's going to be quick. I just wanted to show all the things I've been working on since last time. I have, I was going to say I have no whips, but that's not true. I have tons of whips, and I think maybe in my next video I may pull out most of them and show you all the bags of whips that I have, that I'm looking at right now. The other whip that I had, I'm going to bend, is, or I should say the active whip that I have is same old from last time. This is the Kelsey shawl by Lacey of Hooked on Owls, and I haven't gone very far on it because I actually put it aside to work on some other things. So that's that. The other one that I have now, I had said that I don't do well with crochet alongs. Okay, it's going to be a lot of interruptions. Summer vacation, the boys are home, and whispering to them is at the top of your lungs. So anyway, where was I? I was going to show, or I was talking about crochet alongs and how I tend not to join them because I never finish, but I did the whole softy along.
Okay, you're good.
Plenty of noise, plenty of interruptions today. Debbie, Canadian crocheter. This is why, one of the reasons I don't record, because there's never a quiet moment anywhere. There's either too much sunlight where I get blown out, or it's dark. I don't have a room of my own, and the kids are home on vacation. Anyway, okay, so as I was saying, I don't typically join CALs because I don't finish. I fall way behind, and then it just becomes another one of my whips. So I just did successfully the Cal Central Facebook page. They had the softy along, and apparently they have this going on a lot, alongs, and I didn't know it until I had found that Repeat Craft of Me dog plush puppy, and then I stumbled upon the whole Cal. So as I was saying, I did the Cal, I finished it, and they have another one that started that I've decided to join in again. So right now, actually, I just picked up two things, and what did I do with it? They have, the new one is the washcloth crochet along, and it's going on from June 18th through August 27th. And they've already posted the first one, and I finished it. So this is the washcloth. I forget if it had a name. I'm sure it had a name. I do not recall. I'll put it during editing. But my plan is to use my cotton stash, but I was at AC Moore and the dollar bin. I was looking for yarn for a different crochet along because it called for fingering, and no, I'm not doing fingering weight yarn. So as I was browsing AC Moore, the dollar bin pulled me in, and they happened to have some cotton. So this is, pardon me, this is, if I can find it, nope, it's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. It's a studio sample by Nicole. I'll put in a picture. I took a picture I posted on Instagram, I'm pretty sure of it, or I posted it in the Facebook group. So I'll put that on here, what it looks like. But it's a great worsted weight cotton, and it feels more like the, what is it called? The Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton, but it's worsted weight, whereas the Hobby Lobby's cotton yarn is more on the DK side. So it looks great. This is not the true color. This is showing kind of a pukey greenish yellow color, but it's really a lovely green color. And nope, that's not it. It's green. The sunlight is blowing. It's after 5 here, and no, it's after 6 here. And it's just blowing it out, the sunset. So this is the first one. I believe it comes out either every Friday, every Monday. Don't quote me on that, but I will put the link to that cal below. So this is the first one. I have all these cotton yarns that I found on clearance. This is actually, these I bought at Webb's, my first ever trip to Webb's a couple years ago. This is Valley Yarn. This is their brand. So I have all these different types of cotton or cotton acrylic blends that I'm going to use for that. This one is Old Time Cotton, it's called. 75-25 cotton acrylic. Feels cotton. So, going through stash as well as the usual Premier type cotton. So we shall see about that. So that's one whip. Said this was going to be quick, and I don't think so. The next one I jumped on, I saw this one on Instagram, and it is the Skimming Stones Cal. It's a shawl cal by the Crochet Project, and I think I bought the pattern when they had it on special. But that's the one that's looking for, I think, fingering weight yarn. Not happening. So I ended up going through, and I found in the AC Moore dollar bin more Stitch Studio sample by Nicole. So my main color is going to be this gray. This is it so far. This is the clue that came out last weekend. This one is coming out every Friday. So the every Wednesday the clue's coming out. So the next one's coming out on Wednesday in a couple of days. So my base color will be gray, and then you needed 4 other colors to go with it. This is like a teal, an aqua, or a light teal, or whatever it's called, purple color, and I originally had white here. But it was bugging me, so I went back, and the only thing that I was able to find in the same weight was this green, so these are the colors I'm going with. So this is what it's like so far. So this will definitely need to be steam blocked because it's curling on the ends, and who knows, it's a mystery crochet along, by the way, so I have no idea what's coming up next. It's a little slow going because you have to do back loop every other row, so we shall see. So that, along with the Kelsey shawl, are my 3 active whips, not counting the mountain that's here. I haven't done anything on my scrap corner to corner, so I need to get on that. So now for my favorite part, I always love seeing finished items from people. So let's see. So I had a craft fair 2 weeks ago. Last time I did the video, I was talking that I needed, I was saying that I was getting ready for the craft fair. That went okay, but I made a couple of things for it. Ooh, actually, before I do that, the last item of the Softy along from the Cal Central group was this. Isn't this cute? This is the Daisy pillow, I believe it's called. And don't ask me who it's by because I do not remember, but I will put it on here. So I used a neon yellow. This is from Hobby Lobby. I've had this there forever. And then these, the white is AC Moore Studio Classic. So, yeah. And then this is just some scrap yarn for the ladybug. So this was the last of the softy along. And they did award prizes, and no, I didn't win, but Angelia, she won from, she changed her name, the Little Xenia Patch. I'll put it below. But she won, so congratulations again, that's awesome. Actually, she won from two different, I don't know if they were CALs or what the other one was, but she had 2 winnings under her belt, so that's cool. And her last video, if you look, she was beyond excited. You could just see it coming off her. So congratulations. Okay, so what I did right before the craft fair, I made 2 zero loveys. Look at that. So one has the red nose and one has the pumpkin nose. So after I made this, I actually went, I've never seen the movie, by the way, the Nightmare Before Christmas. I've never seen the movie. So I actually went online and just looked up zero, and somebody else who made this, I think it was, excuse me, on Ravelry, said that it actually is supposed to be a pumpkin nose, so I just whipped this up real quick. So yeah, I made 2 of those, and this is using stash, and this is all Loops and Threads Charisma that I have in stash. So I think I'm going to be using what I have in stash and making some more loveys for the fall time. So that's those 2. The other thing that I did, I had made an owl lovey that I'd shown last time. I said I wanted to get a couple more. I was only able to get 1 more done. So, and there is no pattern for this. I just make it up. And this is just a granny square, but I did the Creative Grandma, what's her name? Glenda Winkleman. She has a video on this alternative to a granny square where she does treble, front post treble crochets, like 2 rows down, but I kind of modified it a little and did my own thing with that because I like that. I like the way that looks. So sunset, so everything's going to be blowing out a little, and I need to hurry up. I'm already at 10 minutes. So yeah, I made this one that did not sell, boo, but it'll be there for the fall. Right now I am trying to get into craft fair for August, but I don't know if that's going to happen, but we shall see. So there's that. The other thing I made, I'm not sure if I showed this, but I'm going to show it again, was this Bo the Kitten, it's called, on Ravelry. So this is the Serenity Chunky yarn. This colorway and another one I've used previously were being clearanced out, so that's why you've probably seen these a couple of times. And then the bow is just made from Karen Simply Soft, and I added the flower. So yeah. Okay. My other finished items, which I just completed this week, the Friendly Red Fox, if you remember the superhero dolls, those were her patterns. You can see all the little fluff now that the sun's setting. But she has a series that she started, and she's going to make an amigurumi for every letter of the alphabet. So, oh, I didn't bring, A was the alligator. I'll pop in a picture. Oh, look at that yarn. It looks so big on monitor. So her first one was Alan the alligator, which I'll put in a picture. And then that's A. What was B? The B. There was a Buzz the Bee. that actually sold. Someone at work bought that. And then there is C. I just finished this one last night. So this is Chloe the cow. And the yarn I use for these, which I found on clearance at AC Moore, is the huge skein of Premier Parfait yarn, which I think is awesome for amigurumis. It's just perfect. Look at that fuzziness. And I need to hurry up because my light is changing. So yeah. And then this is just Big Twist Premium that I had in my stash. So that's Chloe the cow. And then you were seeing Drew the duck. And this is his fluff is supposed to stand up, but this yarn doesn't want to stand up. But Drew the duck. More Parfait yarn with Big Twist Premium. Okay, that's it for amigurumi. And let me see if I can hurry up here. That was my laptop. So the other things that I've been making, and I have one sold, which I'll put up a picture. And I have another one that's packed away, and then this one I finished after the craft fair. It's called the Big Sky Shawl, and I first saw that on Lisa Happy to Hook's podcast. She was making that, and it's by Tamara Kelly of Moogly Blog. So it's super quick to make. Hers is done with Moogly's is done with what is the yarn? The yarn that everyone hates. Homespun yarn, and a really big, I think a P hook. I don't think it was a Q hook, a P hook. So it works up super quick. But I'm using chunky yarn. I used Knit Picks Brava Bulky because I have quite a bit in stash. So I'm trying to use that. So I'll put up the two pictures of the ones. There's a purple and silver one that I did. That went quick at my last craft fair. And then I have one in browns. That one's actually not Brava Bulky. That is Big Twist Premium, but it's the heavyweight acrylic, heavyweight worsted. I'm trying to rush and I'm messing up. The heavyweight worsted yarn. And that is packed away. And then this one here, well, it's not going to show so well. This is humongous. So this was a bunch of purple or eggplant color and Solstice Heather, which is a navy blue. It's a little heathered. Not navy, it's more like navy royal blue color with eggplant. So like I said, it's humongous. And I did this one with 7mm hook. So again, going through stash, and what's gratifying is I'm looking at my cubby that has this yarn and I can see through it. So I've used quite a bit of that. So I think I might make a few of these and just try to piece all the colors together. So there's that one for the Big Sky Shawl. And then the other one by Moogly that I also made is called the Brown Butter Shawl, and I think that was also, Lisa was also making that. And again, I was trying to use up stash, so this I actually quite like. I had three skeins of this color, which is called Fairy Tale, and again, it's the Brava Bulky. And then I have Cream, which I have some more of. And this middle one here is Wine. Yep, and then this one is Current, I believe. So yeah, this is the Wine, and this is Current, and this is the Fairy Tale, which is it's like a pinky kind of dark pink color, I guess, and that's it at the bottom. And I didn't have enough to do the actual edging, so I just left it this way. But the Brown Butter Shawl. And it's similar to the Big Sky Shawl, just with some eyelets So yeah. I don't think, I didn't enjoy this one as much as I did the Big Sky, which is pretty mindless. So that one I'd highly recommend if you just want to stash bust. You can make it in any size, any weight of yarn, and any hook you think would go along well with it. It's a great stash buster. So there's that. The other thing I finished, which was quite pleased with, is from the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Cozy Crochet Cottage? Hannah. Again, I'll put it down below, but her Treasure Island shawl. I bought that, and I used one of my Karen baby cakes to make it, and the sunlight is washing it out, but it came out quite big because it's worsted weight. Again, this is another shawl. You could use any weight yarn and, you know, do whatever you want with it. But this is quite large and generous enough to wrap around a lot. There's a lot of it. So, and since my light is washing out, if I remember, I will pop in the picture I posted on Instagram for this one. For this one, it was, once you got going, it was mindless, and then I always forgot to stop at the certain point to do the little pattern detail here. So I had to rip it back a few times, so that took a while, but that's done. And then, oh, I had this here last week, and I don't think I said anything about it, but this is my, I don't think I mentioned it, my fringed triangle shawl, not shawl, cowl. So it's got, it looks like a poncho in the front with fringe, and the fringe does not go all the way around, but in the back, it's just a cowl. So you can actually turn it around and have the cowl in the front, and then the poncho part on the back to keep your back warm. I used to have one at my office. We moved buildings, so I'm not as cold as I used to be, but previously I had one at my office where the AC came down right on my head, and my back was always cold, so I always turned mine around to have the poncho part covering my back. Okay, so the last thing that I have that I am so glad I'm finished with is, and finished, but I have ends. I haven't blocked it yet, and I don't know if I'm going to, because it's a garter stitch, and it's just so squishy. It's a garter stitch shawl. This is the ex-boyfriend's shawl by who I do not remember, because I've made one of these before that I had shown, but this one I started first, and I started it with, this is, the yarn is When Doves Cry by Lolo Did It. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should, because she has gorgeous yarns. But I bought these ages ago, 2 skeins of them ages ago, and I decided to do this, and I actually started this December of 2017, and if I can find the picture I will post it, where this is a worsted weight, but one of the things I found is that the hand dyed, the natural yarns, the worsted weight yarn, I think is more DK to what we're used to in acrylic. It's thin. So I started it, and it was just so slow going that I couldn't do it. So I put it aside, and I started the one in acrylic. So I have a picture of the two of them next to each other where I was at the same point where I gave up on this one at first. And the difference in the yarns. So, but January 2017, and I finished it last night, with the exception of the ends. 2 ends that I have to weave in. But I'm so happy this is done. So happy this is done. I love the colors, and they're not going to show up on here because of the light, but it's the base is gray, and then there's white and different shades of pink, light Barbie pink, which I'm not a fan of, but then there's hot pinks and purples, and it's awful. It's awful. It's awesome. And being a garter stitch, it's just, I think I've heard people say they're not fond of garter stitch, or maybe they just don't like doing it, but I love it. It's just, it's squishy, and it's absolutely lovely, and I'm done, and it's so much smaller than my other one. So much smaller. It's more like a scarf than anything, but oh, so happy, so happy. Since I just finished it last night, I took the pictures this morning, and I should be able to post a proper picture tomorrow on Instagram, but oh, almost a year and a half. Year and a half. It's just so slow. You don't see, I'm an impatient crocheter. So that's part of it. You just don't see the, what's the word, progression as quickly as I would like. So, but it's done. It's done, it's done. And I have one other shawl that I am working on, and it's actually next to my bed, and I can't crochet or knit in bed for too long, maybe like 10 minutes at most. I just get so sleepy. So it's there. It's similar to the hitchhiker, you know, all the shawls with the steps, the teeth. So I have that there, and I pick it up once in a while. So ex-boyfriend shawl in When Doves Cry. Lolo did it. Yarn. Oh, so happy. So happy. Alright. That's it. The only other thing I said I would show, last time I'd mentioned the first cal I participated in was by Elk Studio. And it was the Southern Diamond shawl. Well, she had also right after done a Southern Diamond wrap, and her pattern called for the Premier Cotton Fair, which is I think it's either a DK or a fingering, might be a fingering weight yarn, and of course I don't do that. So I use this Martha Stewart's, it's a merino blend yarn I had gotten at a discount place because it was all being clearanced out somewhere, and I thought I had enough, but I didn't. But this is the wrap. I absolutely love it. Again, with the pinks, that's not me, but you know, it's what I had. So it was this cocoa brown. I think it was called Mink was the color. Can't see in this light. It's a brown called Mink. And then this corally, salmony kind of pink color. This lilac-y purple color. And then this brighter pink, which I love this one. I prefer this one than that one. But it is probably 1.5 times my wingspan. It's huge. Like, it's supposed to be a simple wrap, but it's like a blanket. I think it's as wide as a king-size blanket. Yeah. So it's just sitting there. It has no home, has no purpose, but it's just too big and unwieldy for anyone to know what to do with if I were to gift it. Plus, it's merino blend, and they won't know what to do with it, so it's gonna stay there. I will use it. I like looking at it. Okay, so that is all I have. I tried quick, under half hour. That's it. Ooh, I always say that's it, and there's always more. One thing I started doing, I was chatting with Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter, because she did her first bags, and I was telling her how when I made my first bag, I sewed the zipper upside down. So I ended up, thankfully the lining of the bag was just as nice, so I just turned it inside out, and I'm using, the lining is now the outside of the bag. Actually, this is the bag. It's alright. The lining was okay. This was supposed to be the outside. And then the bottom, there's also another color at the bottom, so it was half. And I sewed the zipper wrong, so I had to turn it inside out to be able to use it. So, speaking of bags, I bought this sugar skull fabric like months ago. It's been sitting there. Decided to make a bag this weekend, and my sewing machine decided, nope, no go, wasn't playing. This was happening. I actually just came back from a little while ago from a repair shop that we have here, and he thinks my thread was just either catching somewhere or not in the right place, because it wasn't pulling up any bobbin thread as I kept going, and it kept, all the upper thread was getting stuck in the bobbin area. So he pulled everything out and he said it wasn't broken, so I will give it another try for hopefully this coming week or this weekend and make my bag. I haven't made one in forever, and I have quite a few that I've made. I like doing the zippers, but I also like to drawstring bags as well. So, and I haven't made either one in a while. So that's it. I did that again. That's it. I have the CALs and just making. I'm always making. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Ooh, I have 30 seconds, no, 1 minute to keep it at 30 minutes. I am going to do a giveaway, but like I said, it's going to be when I hit 500 subscribers, so I think I have about 50 or so subscribers to go. So it's most likely going to be a pattern giveaway, 1 or 2 people, I'm not sure yet, on Ravelry. You'd have to be on Ravelry to have it gifted that way, but like I said, 500 subscribers is when it will happen, so subscribe or not, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.